bound to the tracks of the train. I'm not excited, but should I be? Is this the fate that half of the world is planned for me? I know I love you, and you love to see. But what only water contains a little drop for me. I'm not excited, but should I be? Is this the fate that half of the world's planned for me? I know I love you, and you love to see. But what holy water contains a little drop for me.
That was Unbelievers by Vampire Weekend. Once again, you guys listen to 88.9 The Cage. You're on air with Sean Tasker. This is Fandom Life. My guest this week is
Mason Wynder.
And we are talking about Game of Thrones just for you guys. So I hope you guys like Game of Thrones because we'll be talking about it for 2 hours straight. If you guys want to be a part of this conversation, you absolutely can. You can text KAGE with whatever you want us to talk about to 66746, or you can tweet whatever you want us to talk about to hashtag Fandom Life. But first, before I start off every show, I like to ask about fandoms in general. So what was your first fandom that you really got into?
Oh gosh, I'd probably have to say the Lord of the Rings fandom.
Yeah, so always fantasy with you then?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very nice, very nice. So I have this hat of fandoms, which you've seen before because we have a class together.
Yep.
But I still like to quiz every guest I bring on here about all the fandoms that they can see from my hat. So name off all the fandoms you recognize.
All right, so let's see. We got Pokemon, Hunger Games, Supernatural, Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who, Disney, Avengers, Sherlock, Firefly, Harry Potter, Star Trek, and I know the ST is Sean Tasker.
Very nice.
So
I shouldn't have told you that beforehand. Yeah, so the only ones on the entire hat you didn't get are just Tumblr and the Zombie Research Society, which I am a card-carrying member because I'm a nerd like that.
Of course
it's fine.
you are, Sean.
It's fine. But yeah, so we'll be talking about Game of Thrones specifically tonight. So, what was the first time you started watching Game of Thrones, or what made you get into it? So, yeah.
I think it was almost just kind of like the sheer fantasy aspect of it, and I heard, or like, I saw some like little bits of it like popping up on YouTube and like special features behind the scenes and the writers and directors and stuff talking about the show, and I just thought, yeah, this seems pretty cool, and something I actually remembered from when I was like 11 or so. From one of my dad's birthdays, my uncle gave him the Game of Thrones book.
Really?
Yeah, and my uncle was just like, here, just trust me on this, it's really good. And I asked him if, you know, it'd be okay for me to read it, little 11, 12-year-old me.
Right.
And he goes, how old are you? 12. You can open it when you're 8 or 17.
18, 17.
And now after reading it, I can just about see why.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't watched the show, it's a very adult, mature show. So when we talk about it, we'll do our best not to use the same language that they use in the show. It's definitely rated R, past rated R.
Yeah, HBO.
Yeah, that's kind of how they do things there. So if anyone that doesn't watch the show and they don't watch rated R movies or anything like that, then don't watch the show. This show is beyond what you think that they should be ever allowed to put on television. It's a very extreme show, but I think that's what a lot of people like about it.
Yeah, and I think not just like the more kind of adult in the visual aspect, but also in kind of the complexity of having to get through it. Because it's not just the simple, like, Lord of the Rings, they go on a quest, and there are these characters, and they're only jumping around to, like, 2 or 3 storylines.
Yeah.
I've actually totaled these up, and in like the 3rd season of Game of Thrones, they are following like 8 separate storylines.
Yeah.
So you really have to get invested in it to get it. You can't just kind of hop in
Right.
and expect to get it right off the bat.
Yeah, because one time I was sitting there in the previously on Game of Thrones, I counted 7 different ones for whatever episode. I was like, I wonder how many there are. But yeah, that's 7, 8 storylines in one show. It's very difficult to keep up with. I'm terrible at the names. I'm all caught up. I've seen all of season 3. Tonight when I go home, I'm going to watch the first episode of season 4. I didn't get time to watch that today. But, oh my gosh. And with the Red Wedding.
Oh, man, the Red Wedding.
So if you guys are not caught up, just so you know, we are saying all spoilers. We're not holding anything back. If you watch the show, we're assuming that everyone that's listening has watched all of the show and has read as many of the books as we have, which for me is 0, but that's fine. It's fine. And then you've read 2, right?
Yeah, and then Wikipedia is a wonderful thing.
Well, yeah, it is.
So-
I got an app today that's called Game of Thrones Companion. It was like $3 on iTunes.
Oh,
but,
you would need that, Sean.
Yeah, dude, because it gives. Look at this. Like, there's so many names, and these are just characters.
Oh, yeah,
in
and
the
are those
show.
just from the TV show?
No, these are from the show and all the books.
All the books, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
in
like-
the books, there are like hundreds of characters.
Yeah, and you can go into like the different houses that it has, the maps of the different locations, all the different religions in this show. Yeah, what's your favorite religion in the show?
I'd have to say I really kind of like the aspect of like the gods the Stark worship of the old gods, like they worship the trees and the rocks and the forest.
Right.
But I'd have to say like if I were asked to pick like what was the true religion in Game of Thrones, I'd have to say like the one like Stannis and Melisandre are following, like the Lord of Light.
Yeah, because that's the one that actually gives results.
Yeah, those are the ones that you actually see happens. Like with Thoros of Myr and Beric Dondarrion after he fights the Hound.
Yeah.
Towards the end of, was that season 3?
Yeah. And because they got the leeches of the royal blood and burned
from
it.
Gendry.
And then that's what made Robb Stark die. Nah, I can't.
Those freaking Freys.
Can't even right now. I can't even. So done. Oh, that show, it tears you apart. Oh my gosh.
Well, here the Red Wedding is like the episode after the Red Wedding.
The Red Wedding.
Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. Red Wedding, Red Wedding, Red Wedding. Yeah, but so in like the next episode, where like if you watch this close enough, when it's still kind of showing like the outside towards the end of the Red Wedding, how they actually like cut off Robb's direwolf's head, and they cut off Robb's head and sew the wolf's head onto his body.
Yeah, that hurt.
Oh man,
That hurt so bad.
I know.
I was like, how could you do that? It's such a pretty animal. I can't.
I know, that would be awesome to have as a pet, though.
Right,
just a fully trained direwolf.
Oh my gosh, and as soon as like someone like threatens you, then they like attack.
Oh yeah, like what happened with Robb in season 1, when like the Great John like drew his blade out and Grey Wolf, Robb's direwolf, bit 2 of his fingers off. Just your meat was bloody tough.
Yeah. And then the dragons.
Oh, the dragons,
those
yeah.
are super loyal too. Like every pet, it seems, in this universe is the most loyal animal in the world.
Oh no, not quite just yet. In season 3, episode 1, with the dragons, it kind of shows how they're getting too big to control.
Oh really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Well, there was like it's the first episode of season 4, but
Oh, season 4.
yeah, where it's like Danny's just kind of hanging around chilling with the black dragon, and in the books it actually goes over the dragon's names. It's like the only one I remember is the black dragon's name, which is Drogon, in memory of Khal Drogo.
Right.
But so like the 2 other dragons come up with like this lamb carcass and just start kind of eating it, and the black dragon kind of goes for it, and Danny's like, oh, and Drogon the black dragon just turns around and just kind of roars at her.
Oh wow.
So you really kind of start to see him get out of control.
Wow, because like I think like a one-on-one could work really well, but with her attention being spread upon 3 different
Well,
dragons.
especially how she really pays attention to the black one.
Yeah.
How that's like her favorite child, and that's the one
Yeah.
she focuses on more.
Which is kind of messed up for the other 2 dragons. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all special, Mom.
Yeah, well, like the other 2 dragons, she named after her 2 brothers, Rhaegar and Viserys.
Oh, okay.
They just changed up the names a bit, but
Oh, really? Yeah.
yeah, like Drogon, but
Right.
yeah.
Go. Yeah, and I don't know, like, who's your favorite couple? Like,
Ooh,
even
my
if one of
favorite
them
couple.
has died since then, like. But who would you say is your favorite? Because Mine would probably actually. I really ship what's Ari and Gendry.
Oh, Arya and Gendry, yeah.
Yeah. Those, because I'm like, oh, look at them. Young love.
It would definitely be a pretty interesting couple.
Oh my gosh, that'd be nice. And then you can see it in her eyes too. And there's that one scene where he's shirtless and sweaty practicing for a sword
Yeah.
fight, and she's just like, stay cool,
Yep.
stay cool.
Just, yeah, I'm digging that.
She's like, you should turn your body sideways. Sideways. Smaller target.
Am I fighting someone?
There's science behind this. Trust me. You should just move your
Yep.
body around more.
Yeah.
When you're shirtless and sweaty and.
I'd have to say, maybe the kind of couple I like the most, even though I know they're never going to get together, is like Dany and Jorah.
Which one's Jorah?
The guy who was with her from the beginning
Oh, okay.
the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because, like...
He is so in love with her.
Oh,
you
dude.
You can just see it in everything he does.
Yeah. But I just think it's kind of a great pairing. Like, you got the young, unexperienced leader.
Right.
And then you need to have this older, more experienced guy just to help her along. And just how he's always protected her and stuck with her.
Yeah, and then the last couple episodes, there was another guy who came in who was helping. He was on the King's Watch for her father, right?
Yeah, the Kingsguard, Sir Barristan Selmy, who Cersei booted out from the Kingsguard. And a lot of people even told her that was a huge mistake. Like, Tywin, her father, told her that was a big screw-up.
Yeah. What's your favorite house in Game of Thrones?
My favorite house? I'd probably have to say the Mormonts, like Jorah Mormont.
Okay.
And how his father was Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just quite like that house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have the app Game of Thrones Ascent, where you put yourself in the game or in the story. I mean, it's really cool because the game has chapters that follow up with the seasons, and so I'm still in season 1 in the game, and so I'm still hearing about how there's Daenerys who's over in the Redlands or whatever.
Yeah, across the Narrow Sea.
Yeah. And it's rumors going around about her doing things, and they're like, well, who cares? She's all over there. Weddings that happen and deaths that happen, they match up perfectly with this game, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a free game, actually. It's Game of Thrones Ascent. You guys should get it if you like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then I took one of those. So in the game, I chose House Baratheon because I've just felt like when it comes to loyalty in the realm and everything, that's where I could really lay my best. What's the word I'm looking for? Best.
Like attentions, loyalty.
Yeah.
Or purpose, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. And then, but online quiz, it said House Baelish, which for a second there I forgot who it was, but then I looked it up. It was Littlefinger.
Yeah.
Who was the only guy.
Oh gosh, he's just so smug and slimy and.
But oh my, he knows what he's doing though.
That's true. He really knows how to play the game.
Which is amazing. And when you play the Game of Thrones, you either
You win or you die.
Exactly. But yeah, so before Robert Baratheon, who was the king at the beginning of the series, they were talking about the Mad King.
Yeah, Mad King Aegar Targaryen.
What's that all about? I don't know anything about him.
Well, so first you got to kind of go back to the original Targaryen, Aegon the Conqueror.
Okay.
And just kind of he came in, escaped the doom of Valyria, which is where their homeland was just kind of destroyed. Whole Pompeii, Atlantis type thing.
Yeah.
And so then he amasses this huge army, and he's got 3 dragons, much again like Dany.
Right.
He sails across, conquers all 7 kingdoms, forges them into one, and makes the Iron Throne.
Okay.
And he had him and his 2 sisters, and he married both of his sisters.
Really?
Yes, because it was the whole, they did it to keep the bloodline pure.
Kind of in the Lannister style.
Except this had been going on, or after Aegon, it goes on for hundreds of years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's slimy. Yeah. That's where.
Yeah. Well, the Targaryen, who was the king before the Mad King, got this prophecy about this one dude the Targaryens have been waiting for, which was called the Prince That Was Promised, and. It was said that it would come through his line, so he made his 2 children, which was the Mad King and the Mad King's sister, marry each other. And they had 3 children, Rhaegar, Viserys, and Dany. And so, but the whole all the incest caused the Targaryens to go mad.
Right.
But it developed over those hundreds of years so it would skip some members. Like, you could see this, how Viserys, who was in the first season, the guy who got all the gold melted on his head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the Golden Crown. That was intense.
Yeah. So, like, how he was crazy, but Dany is totally fine.
Right.
Yeah, but so he just kind of... He started out all right. Mm-hmm. Then he just kind of went more and more and more crazy as time went on. And, like, his Hands of the Kings, he just take him out. Anyone who even said or whispered anything even slightly bad about him, he would just kill him.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like, if you remember the guy who took Ned's head off in season 1, Ilan Payne. Mm-hmm. And if you can even remember before that, towards like the middle of the season, how the Hound said the Mad King had his tongue cut out.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah. So he was overheard like saying something about the Mad King was probably really minor. Mm-hmm. And the Mad King just took his tongue right out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Straight up Avox status from Hunger Games.
Yeah. Yeah, and his actual favorite method of torture was burning people alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah, because the whole dragon thing.
Right.
So, like, they like to think of themselves as dragons, so that's why he would burn people alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is kind of a thing that started the rebellion. Because, Robert's rebellion that got him on the throne. So, like, the Mad King's son, Rhaegar, took... some people say he kidnapped her, others that have theories that she went with him. We'll probably touch on this a bit more later, but he took Ned's younger sister, Lyanna, and Ned's actual older brother, Brandon, went to the capital to get her back. So the Mad King took him, threw him into prison, called his father, who was the current Lord of Winterfell, in, and then he burned the current Lord Stark alive. But actually what he did with Brandon, Ned's older brother, was actually even crueler. Because he put a cord or some kind of device around his neck that the more he struggled, it would choke him.
More?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And he put a long sword just out of his reach, saying, if you can get it, you can cut your father down and you can save both your lives.
Oh my gosh.
So he burned the Lord Stark alive, and Brandon strangled himself, trying to free him and his father.
Oh my gosh.
And Ned Stark's sister Lyanna was betrothed to Robert Baratheon. And Robert, she's like the only girl Robert actually loved. So Robert wanted to fight to get her back and everything. But then the Mad King called for Ned and Robert's head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he was really, really paranoid at this time. And so he really got two houses pissed off, and the two boys were, when they were young men, were fostered by by Jon Arryn, who was Lord of the Vale, who was Hand of the King before Ned came in. And so he thought of them as kind of sons, foster sons kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that made three houses mad.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. So that's how basically the rebellion started.
So is that all in the books then?
They touch on it more in detail in the books.
Okay. But is it still like puzzle pieces that you kind of have to put yourself together?
A bit, yeah. And actually what they do in the DVDs, if you want to, they actually have these features where they talk about like the histories of what's going on. Like they talk about Robert's Rebellion from like the point of House Stark, House Lannister, Targaryen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you get to see all these different views and what they thought of it.
And is it all acted out, or is it just like told like...
They do like drawings of it. So it's like, and then they get like the guy who plays Tywin Lannister to narrate for the Lannister side.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite character, alive or dead?
Favorite character, alive or dead? I'd have to say I really liked the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Really? I
just thought he was kind of cool.
Even though he was like barely in the... is he more in the books then? Or is just...
About the same, yeah.
Really?
But I kind of liked his personality, and also really, once again, like really like Jorah. Just kind of like like how in the first season when Viserys was trying to steal Dany's eggs, and Jorah came in and stopped him, and Viserys was like, "What, does honor mean nothing to you?" And he just, "Honor means everything to me." By the way, if I could have that guy's voice for one day, I would die a happy man. That guy has the best voice of all time.
Well, I don't know. Like, I gotta go with Morgan Freeman on the best voice of all time.
Yeah, true. Morgan Freeman does have a nice, silky smooth voice.
Morgan Freeman can narrate you brushing your teeth, and it would get an Academy Award. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, like the most epic way to die. Clint Eastwood shoots you, Old West style, while Morgan Freeman narrates it.
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't even complain. I would not even complain at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be glorious.
Just throw that into Game of Thrones somewhere.
Yeah.
Just it's like right at the very end, Morgan Freeman pops out and narrates the ending.
He just like walks out and like, like kind of like Littlefinger's kind of clothes.
Yeah.
Like all classy, just walks out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the Game of Thrones. Like in his nice voice. Oh, I would be like, yep, I'm okay with the season ending just like that. Like it gets me in the middle of a biggest cliffhanger, but Morgan Freeman comes out and says, and that's it. And I would be fine. I would be fine with that ending.
Mm-hmm. Also, how they give like Jorah the best quotes.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of the best little lines. Like how in season 3 last season, the line where he just goes, "There's a beast within every man, and it stirs when you put a sword in his hand."
Jeez, yeah. Some of the things that they write for this show, like George R.R. Martin is a genius.
Oh, for sure. Fantasy's most notorious serial killer.
Yes, yes, that's an excellent way to put it. Yeah, my favorite character's got to be I think his name is Tyrion, the imp.
Yeah, Tyrion.
Yeah, Tyrion Lannister, and then right behind him would be Littlefinger, Peter Baelish.
Yeah.
Cause he's sly and he's icky, but he knows how to get things done in his own special way, and that.
Yeah. But I think out of everyone, Tyrion definitely is the best at playing the Game of Thrones.
Oh, definitely.
Because he kind of got built up a reputation where people kind of underestimate him. Mm-hmm. Like how Tywin describes him as like a drunken little lecher, and and he doesn't really, and everybody how they just look down on Tyrion,
right?
Literally.
Yeah.
More
ways than one.
Yeah, and just how he so far is the best at the game.
Right. Yeah, he's kind of like Daryl Dixon from Walking Dead. Like, he's not the main character, but if something were to happen to him, then there would be riots for the show. Because I think he's if he's not everyone's favorite character, he's like in probably like the top 3 for everyone.
Definitely top 3 there.
Yeah, because he's so good, and I think he's like the biggest underdog, really.
For sure, yeah.
Man, what's the most surprising death you've seen in the show?
Most surprising death? I'd have to say it was definitely the Red Wedding.
Really?
For sure. Just because the way they set it up, how it was all nice and happy, then everything.
It was a wedding, yeah.
Yeah, and then the bride and groom go out, and then all of a sudden Reigns of Castamere start playing.
Yeah. Is that a song
Yeah, the Reigns of Castamere is a song, and you can even YouTube it, and it will come up with the words and everything.
Oh, okay.
But it's the Lannister theme song. Really? Yeah, it got started because when the Lannisters were a little bit weaker under Tywin's father, Tydos Lannister, the second, and they were still the richest house in Westeros, and then their kind of bannermen. Yeah, there we go, bannermen. Okay. The Reigns of Castamere. Kind of started to revolt against them, and then Tywin just went, "Let me handle everything," and he wiped out the entire family.
Oh my gosh!
Every single person. Like how at one point in the song, it's just like, "Now the Reigns weep o'er his halls, and not a soul to hear."
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's like if Lannisters get together and have a party, that's the song they sing. Or like if someone's like talking bad about the Lannisters, you just send a guy in to play that song, and they'll shut up. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and weren't they trying to cover it up and say like it wasn't a Lannister thing? Like, weren't they trying to like hide that? I feel like they were they were trying to make it seem like it was the people the house that they were in for the wedding.
Yeah, the phrase.
Yeah. I think.
Well, it was
trying to take the credit for it.
Yeah, the phrase definitely were.
Okay.
Because once again, it was their house that Rob had kind of spurned by marrying Talisa.
Right, instead of the one that he agreed to marry, which was one of the daughters or granddaughters.
Yeah, because the phrase, I've heard it put that they want respect, but they don't want to earn it.
Huh.
And so...
It's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, but so... that's kind of why they wanted Rob to marry one of his daughters, and then why they did that. Mm-hmm. The Red Wedding.
Huh.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break for you guys real quick. We're going to play Knee Deep by Mason's favorite band, the Zac Brown Band, featuring Jimmy Buffett. If you guys want us to talk about anything Game of Thrones or even fantasy genre in general, you can either text KAGE with what you want us to talk about to 66746, or you can tweet it, #FandomLife. But like I said, here's Knee Deep by Zac Brown Band. You guys listen to 88.9 The Cage. Enjoy.
Pretend I don't live in it. Sunshine gonna wash my blues away. Had sweet love, but I lost it. She got too close, so I fought it. Now I'm lost in the world, trying to find me a better way. Wishing I was knee deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze and it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. Wrote a note, said be back in a minute. Bought a boat and I sailed off in it. Don't think anybody's gonna miss me anyway. Mind on a permanent vacation. The ocean is my only medication. Wishing my condition ain't ever gonna go away. Cause now I'm knee deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. This champagne shore washing over me. It's a sweet, sweet life, living by the salty sea. One day you will be as lost as me. Change your geography, maybe you might be. Knee deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. Come on in, the water's nice. Find yourself a lip slice. Grab a backpack and lunch. You never know until you try. When you lose yourself, you find the key to paradise.
That was Knee Deep by Zac Brown Band featuring Jimmy Buffett. You guys listen to 88.9 The Cage. You're on there with Sean Tasker, and this is Fandom Life. We have been talking about Game of Thrones with my guest,
Mason Wynder.
And we're about a quarter of the way through, guys. We still got another hour and a half to talk about Game of Thrones and fantasy in general, but primarily this is about Game of Thrones. Which is a fantastic show. Started off as a book series from George R.R. Martin, now as an HBO series. But yeah, so when I watch shows, I like to take part of it myself. And so what I did with this one, I created my own House Tasker. I actually drew up, you were looking at it earlier. And it's House Tasker, and my slogan or whatever is loyalty above all. And then my sigil is it's supposed to be like a Vizsla, which is like kind of like a lab, but skinnier, shorter hair. and like they're hunting dogs, and they're super friendly but super loyal. And if I had a dog, I would want a Vizsla so bad. You have no idea. But yeah. So if you had a house, what would it be?
I'd have to say, like House Wynder, and probably the sigil I like the most. And sigil is just another word for banner.
Right.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know.
Yeah. For those of you who aren't that big Game of Thrones nerds.
Yeah.
It would probably have to be like a white bear.
Okay.
On a field of probably like dark blue. And you got to have the words in there. So my words would probably be as strong as ice. Then I would have to be up in the north.
Yeah. You'd have to be friends with the Starks at that point.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I really. So would you say the Starks are your favorite house? Oh, I think we talked about this, didn't we?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the Starks. I think kind of at the start you're definitely supposed to like the Starks.
Yeah, for the entire first season.
How they're the main family, and then once you really start to get familiar with the other houses, like the Greyjoys, Lannisters, even the Mormonts, and other lesser houses, then you can kind of branch out and pick like which house is your favorite.
Yeah, but the way that it seems that they're trying to do it is the way that you learn about all the other houses are through the Starks, because there's a Stark family member that's interacting with everything else in the entire world.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, I think. Like, the only part that has no Stark influence is the Targaryens with their dragons.
Yeah.
Because she's all the way over there. But, like, everyone else, because in King's Landing has... What's her name? The redhead that married...
Sansa Stark, yeah.
Who married Joffrey for a little bit, and then...
engaged to Joffrey, and then...
Oh, did they never actually marry?
No.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
Because, like, they were going to get married.
Yeah.
But then Ned Stark came out and was accused as a traitor and everything, so that engagement got broken off.
Oh, I didn't realize it was just like that.
Yeah.
And then he ended up marrying that really nice chick. And is she up to something?
Well, they're still just engaged. The wedding is coming up in the next episode of season 4.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, she's definitely playing the Game of Thrones as well.
Okay, because she like... It almost seems like she's genuinely this nice, but I'm like, nothing in this show has proven that anyone is genuinely nice.
I think she has that nice personality or anything, but she knows how to use that to play the game.
Okay.
And yeah, she's definitely just wants to be, like even how she says to, Littlefinger, and I think it would have to be season 2. Okay. How she says she wants to be the queen.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of the huge Stark family, one of them, Jon Snow, is he's the fatherless child of Ned Stark, right?
Yeah, the bastard child.
Yeah. But you have some theories on like who the mother is, right?
Yes. Well, I don't even think the father's Ned Stark.
Really?
Yeah, because if you look back at his personality, just that super honorable, never do anything wrong, and if he did, he would tell you straight out and do anything he could to make it right. And all that. He would just not go out and cheat on his wife. He's not Robert Baratheon.
That's true.
Yeah. But so, like, my personal theory of it is that Jon Snow's mother is actually Ned's younger sister, Lyanna Stark. And his father is Rhaegar Targaryen, the son of the Mad King, Dany's older brother.
Oh, the one that had the golden crown melted on his head.
No, the oldest one.
Do we meet him in the show?
They mention him.
Oh, okay.
Like Robert and a few others will mention him.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's the oldest one, and at the time of Robert's rebellion, he was already a grown man. Dany wasn't even born, so... and so they had that bit going on, but my kind of theory for that is, well, let's kind of go back a bit. So Rhaegar was jousting at a tournament, and he was married, and Rhaegar was married to, and if you watch season 4 and remember Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper, Rhaegar was married to Oberon's sister. Yeah, a lot of characters in this show.
It's so tough for me to keep up with, like, even what you're talking about right now. I'm like, I got that name, I know that name.
Yeah.
And then...
Also, Rhaegar Targaryen was married, had 2 kids, but his wife couldn't have any more kids because, like, health reasons and stuff.
Okay.
And it was an arranged marriage. So I think they liked each other, but not a whole lot of love.
Right.
But so, Rhaegar Targaryen was at this tournament. He won it. And at the end, the winner proclaims this, makes any girl he wants the Queen of Love and Beauty. And that's what he made Lyanna Stark. was the Queen of Love and Beauty. And so then, once again, like how I said earlier, he took her or she went with him. Mm-hmm. And that's what the whole rebellion started and everything. But then, if you've read the books, Ned has these dreams where it's described as he's in a room that smells of flowers and blood, and his sister is dying, and what she says is, "Promise me, Ned." And that's like a memory flashback.
Yeah.
Because that actually happened. So, like, Robert kills Rhaegar Targaryen in one of the last battles.
Right.
Ned goes, gets his sister, but she dies. And then Ned returns from the war with Jon Snow. And now you gotta think, like, how long this war would have taken. Like, at least a year or so, at least,
right.
for a whole rebellion. So, what I think is Jon Snow is the child of Lyanna and Rhaegar. And the Promise Me was her telling Ned that, or her making a little tongue-tied here.
Yeah.
Spewed out a lot of characters' info here.
I understand. You're good. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but so that Promise Me was her making Ned promise that she'll take care of Jon.
Okay.
And another thing why Ned just says that Jon is his is because of what happened with Lyanna and how Robert loved her. Robert wanted to see all Targaryens dead.
Okay.
Any Targaryen. You can even see this in season 1 when he wants Dany and Viserys murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Ned knew that if Robert figured out that this baby was a Targaryen, he would just straight up kill it. Mm-hmm. So for Jon's own protection, Ned said that it was his bastard son and raised him as his own. And then you also got to think, like, if the time it took, it wouldn't add up. Because, like, Ned goes down, and does the nasty with some...
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the phrasing we use here. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, with some girl, and they have a kid.
Does the nasty. Sorry. I'm just going to keep laughing about that. You keep going.
Yeah. Just the time of it wouldn't add up, because then Ned would have to, like, stay down there for 9 months. Mm-hmm. Which, why would a Lord of the North stay down south for that long?
Right.
Or we would have to go back up to Winterfell, and then go back down south to get the child. Which, it says, he returned from the war with Jon Snow.
Yeah, there's so many characters with so much information.
So much backstory there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so it's perfectly understandable to get mixed up, and I am having a lot of trouble remembering everything. I am doing my best, though. I'm trying to remember, like, forgetting the imp's name even.
Yeah.
But do you think Ned told his wife that it wasn't really his?
I don't think he even did that.
Really?
Just to really keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Because, like, even if you see it in the first episode of season 1, just kind of the evil stares she gives Jon all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, that's true.
Because still, that's just kind of a constant reminder of what she thinks Ned did.
Right. Do you think there's any way she could ever find out?
Well, seeing as she's dead from the Red Wedding.
Well, okay. True. If she had survived that, do you think there was a way she could have found out?
I personally don't think so.
Really?
Because Ned's dead. Mm-hmm. So pretty much everyone who knew about Jon's true parentage is dead. Lyanna, Rhaegar, Ned.
I just get this feeling that, like, Ned wrote a letter and then, like, hid it somewhere. Mm-hmm. Like some place where, they went on their first date or something, like in the hollow of a tree or something. And then one day I would just, like, imagine her, if she hadn't died, one day I can imagine her just walking through there, enjoying memories and seeing, like, this little letter, pulling it out and reading it and be like, oh my gosh, she didn't cheat on me, la 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 la.
Possibly, yeah. Well, and Ned was actually going to tell Jon.
Oh, really?
Like, if you remember, when Jon's leaving to the Wall and Ned's leaving to King's Landing, and Jon asks about his mom, and Ned says, the next time we see each other, I'll tell you about your mother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he probably really was going to tell Jon. Yeah. Because he figured, like, Jon's old enough now, he needs to know.
Yeah, he deserves to know.
Yep. Well, that's never going to happen.
Oh, that hurts. For the longest time, I got so confused because I didn't realize that Ned and Eddard were the same.
The same person.
And I was like, wait, I thought it was the other guy that did that.
Who are these people?
And so I looked it up, and it was like Eddard, informally known as Ned. And I was like, oh!
Yeah, how
it
Ned's
clicks.
just a nickname for Eddard.
It makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
I get it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that confused me.
Perfectly understandable again.
You want to talk a little bit about Cersei, right?
Yes. Oh, Cersei.
Go for it, dude.
Cersei.
Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, well, so how she's just super mean to Tyrion and all that, and is just mean, overly protective of her kids. There's actually a totally good reason for all that. Because when she was a teenager, younger, there was this one fortune teller lady called Maggie the Frog.
The Frog.
Yes, Maggie the Frog. Don't know why. I just know this about her. Teenage Cersei went to Maggie the Frog to get her fortune read. And she asked Maggie the Frog some questions, one of them was, will I marry the prince? Mm-hmm. Because her and Tywin were dead set on getting her married to Rhaegar Targaryen.
Okay.
So she could be the next queen. And Maggie the Frog replied to, no, you shall marry the king.
Okay.
Which did come true because she married Robert, but she only married him after he had become king. And then Cersei asks her, will the king and I have children? And she said, yes, 3 for you, and 10 and 6 for him.
10 and 6?
Basically,
yeah,
so
16. Yeah.
16, yeah. Which definitely came true, how her 3 children are between her and Jaime.
Right.
And then Robert has all the other illegitimate kids.
Yeah.
Then Maggie the Frog said, gold shall be their crowns, and gold shall be their shrouds.
Huh.
So she predicted that Cersei will actually outlive all of her kids.
Oh, wow.
But they will all be kings and a queen.
Right.
And so that's probably another reason, that's not probably, that is a reason why, she gets so protective of Joffrey.
Okay.
Was one, because, he's her kid, she loves him and all that. But also because she wants him to live as long as possible, because how she will outlive her kids.
Yeah.
And then Maggie the Frog said, and after your tears have drowned you, the Valonqar will wrap his hands around your pale white throat and choke the life from you. Now, Valonqar is, it's from a language in Game of Thrones called High Valyrian, and it translates to little brother.
Huh.
So that's kind of why she hates Tyrion so much, because she thinks that he is going to kill her. And you can actually see that in one of the trailers for season 4, where she says he'd kill us all if he could.
Right.
So she thinks that Tyrion is going to be the one who kills her. But if you notice, Maggie the Frog said the Valonqar, or little brother, not yours.
Oh, yeah.
So it could basically be just about anybody. It could be
right.
Bran, Jon,
yeah,
Theon Greyjoy even.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because he had 3 older brothers who all died.
And that guy's going through some
some rough
terrible stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Freaking Ramsay Snow. But there's another popular theory where it could also be Jaime who kills her.
Oh, wow.
Because the 2 of them are actually twins.
Right.
But Cersei is the oldest. So Jaime is her little brother.
Just slightly, though.
Yeah. Huh. So it could be Tyrion, it could be Jaime.
Right.
It could be anybody who has an older brother.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's insane.
Yeah, but that's just some stuff on how Cersei is the way she is.
Yeah. So Game of Thrones has a lot of different languages, like High Valyrian and Dothraki and all the different languages that they have. Do you think George R.R. Martin is ever going to go all J.R.R. Tolkien on this and just make complete languages? Or do you think...
I don't think so, because he hasn't.
Right.
He did, for Lord of the Rings, the movies, they went off of J.R.R. Tolkien's Elvish that he had wrote down and put in his books, in the backs.
Yeah.
Whereas with the show, they got these language creator guys to come on and create the languages.
Yeah.
And I think they may have come up with, a Dothraki to English dictionary.
Oh, wow. But it's probably limited, though.
Yeah. Well, we know there's no word for thank you in Dothraki.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, there's not a whole lot of pleasantries in that language. But yeah, I wonder, like, maybe even, like, one day the fans could, like, come up with something huge.
Yeah, possibly. Well, I heard that, like, from the language creators that Dothraki was kind of a mix of German and Arabic.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that.
So, taking bits of the real languages and mixing them together.
Right. Yeah, because they're saying it's very guttural.
Yeah,
what's the word they used?
Yeah.
Dothraki. Yeah, and then there's King Joffrey.
Oh, gosh.
Everyone hates.
Oh, everyone hates that kid.
But you were saying that there's one character that we should hate more?
Mm-hmm, yes. Ramsay Snow. And if you don't remember him, he's the guy who went in, torched Winterfell, and is Ross Bolton's illegitimate son. Mm-hmm. And is the guy who's now torturing Theon Greyjoy.
Right. That guy's mean.
Oh. In the books, he's way, way worse.
Really?
Yeah. Because he's just a psycho, honestly. And, like, something he did, like, in the books is he would go out, and he would, in the north, his own people, and he would force himself upon the girls, kill them, and then he had a manservant named Reek, who had this weird genetic thing where he just smelled terrible all the time. So Ramsay would kill the girls and then he would let Reek do what he wanted with the dead bodies. Oh, wow. And he did this to his own people.
I'm gonna have to cut you off. There's business here in the cage that I have to take care of real quick, guys. So we're gonna take a quick break, but I'm gonna play "Jump Right In" by Zach Brown Band. You guys listen to 88.9 The Cage. Enjoy.
Powder beach under my feet has got me rolling, and the breeze through crackling leaves like a daytime campfire burn. And the ship is off to sea, and the wicked is a churn as the southern wind sings again a night lullaby. You could jump right in, let the music pull you in. You could jump right in, or lose yourself again as the southern wind sings again a night lullaby. The locals go and no one knows where to find it, and the river starts to flow inside the clouds of misty mountain. The water from this stone below becomes a blue-green fountain as the southern wind sings again a night lullaby. You could jump right in, let the music pull you in. You could jump right in, or lose yourself again as the southern wind sings again a night lullaby. La 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 You can find me where the music meets the ocean. If you get the notion, stop on by and play a while. Simple tune to get your love light glowing. Keep your heart wide open, disappear just like the tide. Let it roll on by and jump right in. Let the music pull you in. You could jump right in, or lose yourself again as the southern wind sings again a night lullaby. Southern wind sings again a night lullaby. A lullaby.
That was Jump Right In by Zach Brown Band. You guys listen to 88.9 The Cage. You were on air with Sean Tasker. This is Fandom Life. We are talking about Game of Thrones. My guest is...
Mason Wynder.
And I had to stop real quick because I had to take care of some business here in the cage, but that has all been taken care of now. So I accidentally cut you off while you were talking about what should be the most hated character.
Yes, Ramsay Snow.
And so I'll let you jump right back to where you were if you remember where you were.
Yeah. Also, just like all the stuff he's done with his own people. But then also, once like Ross Bolton's actual legitimate son found out that he had a half brother, he went out to, make that brotherly connection stuff with Ramsay.
Right. And
he ended up dying. So there's some theories that Ramsay killed his own half-brother.
Oh my gosh.
And then with how Ross Bolton just recently got married to a Frey, and in the books they have a kid together, and Ramsay kills that kid.
Wow.
And then Ross kind of realizes that Ramsay will just kill any legitimate kid he has.
Yeah.
So that there's nothing left. So there's nobody left to pass his lands and titles to but Ramsay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow. That's craziness.
Mm-hmm.
But the main character that everyone usually hates is Joffrey.
Yes, Joffrey. Everyone hates that kid.
It's gotten to the point you were telling me that George R. R. Martin did something.
Yeah, well, he wrote a note to the kid who plays Joffrey. He opens a note. The note says, "Congratulations. Everyone hates you."
Which means you're doing your job, right?
That's for sure. And apparently he's a real nice kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's real good at playing a douchebag.
Yeah, because Joffrey, oh my gosh, with everything that he does. Man. And he just, whenever he brings in, whoever he likes at the time, he just kind of shows off his new crossbow.
Yeah.
Points it right
He's
at the door.
got a thing with that crossbow, man.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Well, and just, he's terrible. Unlike Ramsay, because Ramsay actually does all the stuff himself. Mm-hmm. Joffrey just has somebody else take care of it.
Yeah.
When he gets that member of the Kingsguard, Meryn Trant, to beat the crap out of Sans all day long.
Yeah. Or when his uncle sent him prostitutes.
Yeah.
And then he made one kill the other.
Yeah. I didn't see that scene, but I heard about this and know what goes on in that scene.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kid, because he's like the opposite of Ned Stark, because Ned Stark was really nice, and whenever he did have to do something, he would do it himself. All beheadings, he would do it himself.
Yeah, the man who passes the sentence should swing the sword.
Right, yeah, and then Joffrey's just like, I'm going to come up with all these evil things and then make everyone else do them for me.
Oh, man, I hate that kid.
That kid is, it's terrible.
Ugh.
If he knew, who his parents actually were, and then... Imagine the fit he would have.
Oh, for sure. Well, I think it's kind of ironic. Because, towards the end of Robert's Rebellion, Jaime Lannister, who was a member of the Kingsguard, killed the Mad King. So he ended one Mad King, but sired another.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, definitely some nice irony in there.
Yeah. And now with Jaime's one-handedness.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of feel bad for him. He's getting a really rough deal recently.
Oh, for sure. Just wait till he gets back and how everyone treats him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's going to get worse? How can it get worse? It's already so terrible.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, but Jaime is definitely becoming, a better person than he was at the start.
Yeah.
He's a lot more humble.
Yeah. So, one of... my favorite characters, he's not, in the top 5 or anything, but, it's character I like is Samuel.
Yeah, Samwell Tarly.
Yeah. One thing that I really love is how it seems between this and Lord of the Rings, I'm sure there's others, Sam is the perfect sidekick nickname.
Yeah, definitely. Befriend a guy named Sam, you'll have the best friend for life.
Right? It's great. And then there's, and then if you watch Supernatural.
Yeah.
Then, he's...
Yeah, Sammy.
Yeah, sometimes he's the main character, but sometimes he's, kind of like a sidekick to Dean.
Yeah.
Because Dean kind of takes the spotlight a lot of times in that show. Sure. And so Sam in Supernatural has the second-hand role. And then Samwell in this show, Samwell in Lord of the Rings. It's almost like Ron, because there's Ron Stoppable, Ron Weasley. Yeah. And then along with names, why does everyone have a nickname? Because there's Littlefinger, there's the Spider, there's... everyone has a nickname.
Yeah. I think, the Littlefinger's nickname is pretty much granted, because, when he was younger, he was really small and everything. And he came from some small islands in Westeros called the Fingers, and he came from the smallest of the fingers.
Oh, okay.
And then I think like other nicknames like the Spider, that like varies. The Master of Whispers. It just kind of what he is.
Okay.
Like he's like a spider. He creeps in, he knows all the secrets and everything.
Right.
But then you get somebody like Gregor Clegane, the Mountain That Rides.
That's his nickname?
Yep, the Mountain That Rides.
Wow.
Yeah, well, because if you don't remember him, he is Sandor Clegane, the Hound's older brother. If you'll probably remember him from the jousting scene in season 1 when he chopped the horse's head off.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they call him that just because, like, in the TV show, the guy they got to play him is like 7 feet tall, but in the books, he's described as over 8 feet tall.
Oh my gosh, that's gigantic.
And even like Sandor tells a story about how in the books, it's the Hound that tells the story of how he got burned. And he says that it happened when like his older brother was 12, when his older brother put his face in the fire and burned him.
Yeah.
He said that the mountain was 12 years old and over 6 feet tall.
Oh my gosh.
And that it took, and when he had hit the Hound's face in the fire, it took 3 men to pull him off his little brother at 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, where does the name the Hound come from? Is that just from his ugly face?
That could be a part of it, but it's also their sigil is 3 black dogs on a field of yellow.
Okay.
Because they weren't, and it's mainly because they weren't from some like high family like the Lannisters or the Starks. They were the Lannisters' kennel masters, so they took care of the hunting dogs and all that.
Okay.
And then when they became lords, they took the dog as their sigil.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and also how Sandor the Hound also wears the helmet that's shaped like a dog's head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so just a few factors in that nickname.
Right. Yeah, so how do you feel about the Hound? Because I still don't know how I feel about him. Because, like, at first he was, super loyal to the king. And, and super nice when there was that whole riot in the street.
Yeah.
And he went and got the fiancé. Yeah. But then, like, after that, he runs away, and then he gets Arya, yeah. And, like, he's all rude to her, and he's more vulgar. And I'm like, I don't know how I like this character yet.
I like the Hound personally. He's one of my favorite characters, actually.
Really?
I think it's just kind of his personality and the way that he was, and how he brought up with his older brother, who was just this vicious, like, in the books it says that they had a sister and she went missing, and then, like, the day that Gregor came of age, like, he turned 18 and was able to inherit his father's holdings and everything, he went on a hunt, and his father accidentally, air quotes, died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and like servants went missing, and how the Hound just kind of grew up in constant fear and being bullied and everything. So, I think since having like how Sansa was basically just like living in a fantasy before all this started, that the Hound had to grow up to be hard and not be able to show fear or any other kind of emotions.
Right.
And he was definitely loyal to Joffrey up until Joffrey pushed him a bit too far.
Yeah, sure.
Because like if you remember in the Battle of Blackwater when they had all the fire, if you didn't notice, the Hound is actually afraid of fire.
Yeah,
because what happened to his face
because
and all
of the
that.
face thing, right.
Yeah, and Joffrey just telling him to get back out there. That just pushed him a little too far.
Yeah. And so that's when he skedaddled.
Yeah. And I think just like when he's with Arya and everything, he just has to be tough.
Yeah.
That's what's expected of him, being well over 6 feet tall, when everyone at that time period would have been like under 6 feet. Like average would probably be like 5'5".
Yeah.
So a guy going up. So a guy who's
tall.
like 6'8".
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
I would be tall there. Success.
You'd be. Yeah. I'm 6'5", so.
Well, you know what, Mason?
So I'd probably be about in the Hounds category for being big.
Gigantor. I'm required to remind you guys that you guys are listening to KAGJ FM Ephraim. Anyway, you want to talk a little bit about some of the newer characters coming up in the series, like Oberon?
Yeah. Just how, like, with all the characters dying, you need to replace those characters with new characters. And I think one of the interesting ones is definitely Oberyn Martell, who his excuse for being there is for the Joffrey and Marjorie's wedding. Actually, if you have watched the 4th season premiere, he's actually just there for revenge, mainly. Mm-hmm. Because of what happened to his sister during Robert's Rebellion. Because what happened was like the Lannisters came in, and the Mad King, thinking the Lannisters were there to help, opened the gates, and the Lannisters sacked the city, King's Landing.
Wow.
And the Mountain found Oberyn's sister, the princess, and her kids. So, and the Mountain smashed the kids' faces in, forced himself on her, and then killed her.
Wow.
Yeah, so Oberyn is just about strictly there for revenge.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, welcome to Game of Thrones.
Well, yeah, definitely. That's definitely true. I want to go back to Cersei. We were talking a little bit about Cersei earlier, and her conquest that she's going on right now is crazy. Like when she, how she got what was it, the Tully list? Is that what they called them? Her huge army of super obedient people.
Oh yeah, you said Cersei. It's Dany.
Danny.
Just kind of threw me off there.
Too many names.
Yeah, the Unsullied.
Unsullied. Okay,
Yeah.
Sully list, Unsullied. Close enough. What does that mean,
Really?
Unsullied?
Well, it's like the Unsullied, or the Unsullied. Basically, with them is they're taken as slaves as kids,
Right.
and they are just trained and trained and trained to be a completely obedient, almost unstoppable fighting force. It's kind of like almost the perfected Third Reich
Oh my gosh.
of fantasy.
Nice metaphor there.
Closest thing I can think of, but
Yeah.
yeah, so they are just, and it said that they are just drilled and drilled until all questions are, like they lose the inability to really ask any more questions.
Is that what the word unsullied means?
Well, the thing they do with the Unsullied is they make them eunuchs.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
So,
that puts a whole nother perspective on it.
yeah, so that's another reason why they're called Unsullied.
Okay. So that's what is that what the name means then?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't know what the word sully, like, as a verb
Yeah.
or noun or anything. Like I just had never heard the word sully, so I didn't know what an unsullied
Yeah.
would be. But that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, but it definitely makes for a kind of a interesting contrast between the Unsullied leader Grey Worm with one of the other commanders, Dario Naharis.
I don't think I've met him yet.
He's in the end of season 3.
Okay.
Because like when Dany's going to attack the city and they bring in the mercenary group.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Dario Naharis is one of the leaders of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
then
is he the one that chops the heads off?
Yep, that chops
okay.
the heads off his commanders.
captains.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's a pretty cool character, and
Yeah.
they did recast him
Oh,
for
okay.
season 4 with another guy,
Oh,
which I actually think the new guy might be a bit better
really?
because the season 3 Dario, he just kind of looked kind of intimidating and scary a little bit, just his face and
Right.
how he acted and everything. But that was good for the introducing of the character or introduction
Yeah.
of that character. With the new guy, he's definitely a lot more, sly and charming, and the kind of guy that,
Really?
yeah, the kind of guy that would come up to your girlfriend at a bar, you just want to smack him in the face. He's so smooth and cool.
Sorry. Okay. It was one time. You don't have to bring it up over the air, Mason.
Yeah, Sean, whatever.
Just because the girl that kind of was your true badger is kind of
gosh.
now my girlfriend.
Yeah.
One time. No. There's no hard feelings about that, by the way. are there?
No, totally fine.
Okay, just making sure. Because you were I remember that night for the dance.
Oh, gosh,
you
Sean.
were freaking out. I was like, I need a true badger. And I was like, go find
Probably
someone.
wasn't like that. Just,
Yeah, you're like, ah.
that was Tyler, I believe.
Well, yeah, but you were. I think you were a bit more chill. I think I was pushing you more.
Yeah, you were definitely pushing, man.
Yeah, because I was like, come on, man, it's true badger night. You got to go. And which I think there's another one on the 16th. Is the next True Badger Night. Which, by the way, guys, quick little plug-in. There's also a block party, Snow College Resident Life block party, on Wednesday, April 16th from 6 to 10 behind the suites. They're going to have an open mic. They're going to have a mocktail bar. They're going to have blackjack, giant chess tournament, giant twister, a photo booth, live DJ, movies, a chalk throw, kind of like Festival of Colors. That's all April 16th from 6 to 10 behind the suites. Anyway, back to Game of Thrones. I just had to go plug that in.
I'm not even sure if that's actually the correct way the theme song
I don't think that's quite the theme song.
Yeah, not quite.
Not quite. Yeah, well, okay, with the theme song, I think always confused me. What's up with all the gears?
All the gears.
Yeah, like, why did they choose that for... Like, there's no gears or, like, no mechanics in the show.
Oh, man. I think it's, once again, kind of like a design choice, like how it starts up with, like, a mechanicalized map of it.
Yeah.
It kind of shows what's going on.
So you think it's, like, purely visual?
Yeah, and it could also be with, like, how, like, the style or genre of steampunk is really big.
Okay.
Those of you who don't know what steampunk is, it's, like, Victorian England, and the Industrial Revolution thrown into, like, the future. So
They had a love child.
Yeah. Yeah, and it could also be like with American Wild West, but it's a lot of gears and steam and futuristic stuff, which could have probably influenced, or could have influenced, that opening.
Yeah, pretty much if you put the Industrial Revolution with any time period in history, you have steampunk.
Pretty much, yeah. It can go with the Wild West. And
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was wondering, because I was always like, there's no mechanics or gears or building or anything in the show.
Other really than, like, the wall.
Well, yeah, but that's made of ice.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just like the little wooden crate that carries you up to the top of the 700-foot tall ice
The
wall.
medieval elevator.
Yeah. How do you think they made that 700-foot tall ice wall?
Gosh. Well, like, in the story, it's like, the first Stark brand and the Builder enlisted giants
Oh, wow.
to help them build the wall.
Okay. I'm going to play a quick song because we have a call-in, so I'm going to play Castle of Glass by Linkin Park. Once again, you guys listen to 88.9 The Cage. Enjoy. That was Castle of Glass by Linkin Park. You guys listen to 88.9 The Cage. Or on there with Sean Tasker. This is Fandom Life. This week we are talking about Game of Thrones with my guest,
Mason Wynder.
And we took a break because someone was calling in, but then I answered the phone and they hung up. So
Freaking prank calls.
Yeah, so I don't know what that was about. But if you guys want to talk to us, don't call me in. You can text KAGE with whatever you want us to talk about to 66746, or you can tweet it, #FandomLife. Don't call. If from now on, for the rest of the show, whenever someone calls, we're not going to stop because we got a show we're already talking about, guys. We can't stop it for a phone call. I mean, come on. But so some of the things we were going to talk about, we were talking a little bit about Dany and her army. But then at the end of season 3, she went to another city that was full of slaves.
Yeah,
and
Yonkai.
And she freed all of the slaves.
She even did that when she got the Unsullied. How she had them turn around, kill the masters, and free all the slaves and everything.
Right. So what's that about? Why does she free the slaves?
I think, again, it's kind of a personal experience with her. Because like how her older brother, Viserys, before he got gold melted on his head.
Right.
Which was freaking epic.
Oh, yeah. All the...
Yeah. How he kind of treated her like a slave.
Okay.
Like how he just straight up sold her to Khal Drogo. And so kind of at that point, and kind of the first bit of her marriage, she felt like a slave. And just kind of also another moral thing, because she kind of knew what it was like to be a slave.
Yeah, to her brother.
Yeah, and so she just doesn't want anyone else to do that, or to have to go through something even close to that.
That makes sense.
So once again, just another moral thing.
Yeah, which is weird, because in this time period, that's not something that really people would contribute to morals, is because that's just kind of a regular thing for them.
Well, it is in that part of the world, because that area that she's in right now is called Slaver's Bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in Westeros there is absolutely almost no tolerance for really slavery.
Oh, really?
Because Jorah Mormont, the guy who helps Dany.
Yeah.
That's basically why he's there with her. Because he married a girl who was used to this this really expensive, over the top lifestyle. And when she married Jorah, she didn't know really how poor he was, even though he's the lord of a whole island, Bear Island. He says that Bear Island is really only rich in wood and bears. And so he bankrupted his family to appease her lavish lifestyle, and to kind of keep that up, he sold poachers from his land into slavery. Then when Ned Stark got word of this, he was going to come and take Jorah's head, but Jorah was able to get out of there and go across the Narrow Sea, and then eventually teams up with Dany.
Huh. Very interesting. Cool. So I have not seen the season premiere of season 4, but you have. So I don't worry about spoilers because I'm gonna watch it tonight anyway. So what happens in season 4?
Well, I'd have to say probably one of the biggest things that happens in season 4 is just the opening scene.
Okay.
And what happens in it is Tywin Lannister takes the Stark sword Ice. If you remember, it was the big two-handed sword that Ned got his head chopped off with, and he chopped off the deserter's head with. Sword's name is Ice Valyrian Steel, which is magic steel that stays sharp and is almost indestructible. And there are very few of those now since Valyria is gone, so they can't make any more Valyrian steel and all that.
Right.
And so it's just kind of a big family heirloom. Some noble families have it. Another example is Longclaw, Jon Snow's sword that the Lord Commander gives him in the first season.
Oh, okay.
But so what happens in that is Tywin takes the sword Ice to a smith and has the sword melted down and made into 2 swords. So kind of another, since he thinks just about all the Starks except Sansa are gone. Even though there's still Bran and Rickon, and Arya. That's and right after the Red Wedding, that's just another kind of big, screw you or insult to the Starks.
Yeah.
Just destroying their family sword. And he makes it one for Jaime and one for Joffrey.
Okay.
To give to Joffrey as a wedding present.
Right.
Yeah, and another reason why they did that is because the Lannisters had an ancestral Valyrian steel sword, but then it got lost. And so it was really kind of just about the one thing the Lannisters didn't have. They've tried to buy other Valyrian steel swords.
Right.
And then now after ice got melted down, they've now got 2 swords.
Okay. Very cool. What are your predictions for the rest of season 4 and like how the show's going? Do you think they're going to stay with the books?
I think they'll stay with the books in kind of a general sense.
Okay.
But still kind of change some stuff up like they've been doing.
Right.
But yeah, so some predictions I have is that Joffrey's going to get it this season. Hopefully.
You think he's gonna die?
Oh, I hope so. I hope he gets it. It's time. They killed off Robb and Ned. It's time for Joffrey to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, but another thing I kind of think is going to happen like at the Wall is that like well, we know that Stannis from the season 3 finale is headed up there. Because like they know that like the White Walkers are coming down, so Stannis is going to be sailing up there and joining up with Jon Snow.
Right.
But I actually think that like since the Lord Commander's now gone from the Night's Watch, that like Jon will become the Lord Commander.
Okay. You think he's gonna restart the Night's Watch, even though he abandoned them?
Well, yeah, he comes back to it.
Well, yeah. But in abandoning them and then getting with the one chick, he kind of broke some of the vows. So
he did, but it was all hot. Just kind of
She was hot. Just saying, she was a very attractive woman.
Yeah, she was also a redhead, and he pissed her off. So, ooh.
Yeah, always bad. Always bad.
Yeah, definitely. My mom and my 2 sisters are redheads. Not a good thing. Not a good thing to make a redhead mad.
If you find any ginger in any piece of fiction, if you get them mad, that's always bad.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but
that rhymed. Huh.
Yeah, but like with that was Jon just all keeping with his cover.
Yeah.
Like to him, it was just like a mission. And
okay.
I think it's almost kind of viewed as long as he goes back to the Night's Watch, and there's a reason for this.
Right.
And he never actually was 100% with the wildlings.
Yeah.
Like even one example, like with the old guy with the horses, when they go in to just kill him and take the horses and all that, how Jon warns him, he gets away, and then Jon like hesitates to kill him, and so Ygritte kills him, and then that's when Jon has to book it out of there.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was funny when they were walking by and like she saw the windmill. She's like, "Is that a castle or a keep or something?" He's like, "That's a windmill."
Yeah, that's a mill.
Does some great lord own it? No, just whoever used to live here.
Yeah.
He must have been very wealthy to build a building that high. It's really not that tall.
Wait till you see Winterfell.
Yeah, I have buildings 3 times that size. I mean, come on, that's itty bitty. That's like a 30-foot tall building. Come on.
Yeah, even after they scaled a 700-foot wall.
Yeah, she's still surprised by 30 feet. She's still like, whoa!
Yeah, but there's definitely going to be some cool action scenes in there with this coming season at the Wall.
Oh, okay.
Like, you can even see that in the commercials.
Yeah.
How there's going to be... there's actually going to be a battle on each side of the wall.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be awesome.
Yeah. But, because, like, I don't know if they are going to stray from the books, because I know Walking Dead, they stayed with the comic series. Like, season 1 and season 2 were almost, like, identical
on par, spot on.
with the comics. And then season 3 was kind of similar. They kind of mixed things around a little bit.
Yeah.
And then season 4 was just completely different. And so I'm like, I don't know if, like, now that season 4 of Game of Thrones, if they're going to start, start venturing off, creating their own monster.
Yeah, they have kind of ventured off a bit, but the author George R.R. Martin actually, I think he writes and directs one episode himself.
Oh, really?
So, and he's a producer.
Yeah,
They have to stay relatively.
Well, I mean,
true to
Robert
the books.
Kirkman is a producer on the Walking Dead TV show, and he's the original writer of the comic series.
Yeah, I think it's almost just kind of like, as long as you got the guy's permission or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you can kind of stray as long as you stay at least like 50% true
right,
to the original story.
Yeah.
On other parts, you can kind of split it a little bit, but especially on a show like Game of Thrones that already has so many characters.
Yeah, that's true.
They kind of just can't keep on throwing all the characters that are in the book in your face. And yeah, but so, and like each book is like, oh gosh, those things are thick.
Yeah.
Probably be like the equivalent of Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, and half Two Towers, or Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers smushed together.
Yeah.
To make, so like those two is one book. That's kind of like how the latest books in Game of Thrones are gonna end.
Yeah.
Or are. Not
Right.
End.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna end with Frodo throwing a ring into a volcano.
Yeah. That would be funny.
Uh-huh.
I'm not the only imp anymore. Yeah. No, you still are. Those aren't human.
No, they're definitely hobbits.
Yeah. But no, what was I gonna say? Oh jeez, I had something. I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Oh, it's gonna bug me now. Totally lost what I was gonna say. I had something really good too.
Oh man.
I was all proud of myself. Okay, well while I try to remember, I'm gonna play Royals by Lord. Little bit of pun. Royals, Lord.
Iron Throne, huh?
But yeah, so once again, this is Royals by Lord. You guys listen to 88.9 The Cage. Enjoy.
I cut my teeth on wedding rings in the movies, and I'm not proud of my address. In a torn up town, no postcode envy, but every song's like gold teeth, gray goose dripping in the bathroom, bloodstains, ball gowns, trash in the hotel room. We don't care. We're driving Cadillacs in our dreams, but everybody's like crystal, Maybach, diamonds on your timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We aren't caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royal. It's a run in our blood. That kind of love's just ain't for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee, and baby I'll rule. Let me live that fantasy. My friends and I, we've cracked the code. We count our dollars on the train to the party, and everyone who knows us knows that we're fine with this. We didn't come for money, but every song's like gold teeth, gray goose dripping in the bathroom, bloodstains, ball gowns, trash in the hotel room. We don't care. We're driving Cadillacs in our dreams, but everybody's like crystal, Maybach, diamonds on your timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We aren't caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royal. It's a run in our blood. That kind of love's just ain't for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee, and baby I'll rule. Let me live that fantasy. We're better than we ever dreamed, and I'm in love with being queen. Life is great without a care. We aren't caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royal. It's a run in our blood. That kind of love's just ain't for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me Queen Bee, and baby I'll rule. Let me live that fantasy.
That was Royals by Lord. You guys are listening to 88.9 The Cage. We're on air with Sean Tasker. This is Fandom Life. We are talking Game of Thrones with my guest,
Mason Wynder.
And I remember what I was going to say. I was going to talk about how the show is really starting to catch up with the books in the series. And a lot of people are getting frustrated because they're like, well, he's so busy with the show. Is he gonna have time to get back to the books?
He just needs to finish those things up. Just somebody lock him in a dungeon until he's done with them.
Right? Yeah. Like I read this online comic, and it said, like, I don't want to really cause any pain to him or lock him up, but just whenever he doesn't sit down and write, once a day, then he just gets a little prick. They have like a little voodoo doll with like a little pin.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he doesn't get his writing done in the day, then just prick him in the back.
Just a daily 500 pages of writing.
Well, I mean, just a daily sit down and focus on the book.
Really get those books going.
Yeah, because as soon as the show started, the books pretty much just stopped, didn't they?
Oh, I think so, just about.
Yeah.
I think even just, 13 years has passed since, Storm of Swords, which is the book Season 3's on.
Really?
Has been out. Yeah, I know that because there was one that I saw where it was, George R. R. Martin, the author, was on a talk show, and people were talking about, the Red Wedding and all the fan reaction videos that are out there.
Yeah.
Those things are hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, I heard.
And he was like, and he was just like, those videos were plotted by their friends who read the books and knew what was going to happen.
Right.
And he's like, now you know why your friends were so depressed 13 years ago. But so he needs to get on with that, at least before he dies.
Yeah.
There was one Honest trailer. If you're familiar with the show or with the YouTube videos, Honesty trailers, they did one for Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
And the guy was like, he just needs to finish the books before the author eats himself to death.
Oh, that's terrible.
But George R. R. Martin has actually told the two creators of the show, the main plot points and how he's going to end it in case he dies before he finishes them.
Really?
So they'll finish it up for him.
Yeah, I was listening to an interview with Robert Kirkman, who wrote The Walking Dead, and they were pretty much saying the same thing. Like, do you have just a single comic book that just says a way for all the characters to just die, and then you don't publish it till after, if just in case you die, then they can be like, well, here's the end, and it'd just be the end all. No matter where they are in the series, what's happening. She's like, oh, suddenly the aliens come down and blow everything up, and as well,
that blows up the earth, and that's how all the zombies die.
And happily ever after. No.
Just then Rick walks out of the dust all by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he's already got a good start on it by knowing how the story's going to end.
Yeah.
And even if they do catch up to him with the books. Or
with the show.
Yeah. If they catch up to the books with the TV show. There's so much history and stuff they could go into and stuff. So they could probably maybe do a filler season or something. But I could also kind of see them, since they know what's going to happen, of kind of going ahead, possibly.
Really? I think a lot of people would get really frustrated.
Yeah, they would, definitely. And the books definitely would not sell.
Yeah, because especially since, there have been, books that have been turned into movies, and then the books still sell well, and the movies sell well. But then when it's a movie that gets turned into a book, the book never sells.
Yeah.
I own the Phantom Menace, the book.
Oh, yeah,
by Terry Brooks or whatever. And, it's that's a book that no one ever sees because everyone just knows the movie.
Yeah.
And so you got to do the book first. If you get
That's for sure. So, yeah, with all the history and stuff, I could definitely possibly see them doing a filler history season on, Robert's Rebellion or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. An entirely new cast.
Yeah. Or just kind of, maybe possibly bring back some members of it for, an episode or two.
Yeah.
Bringing back Robert and Ned, and it starts off them reminiscing.
Yeah.
Or something about that. But yeah, bringing in new cast and exploring a prequel season.
Huh. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Or if they go all Sherlock on it, because I'm in the Sherlock fandom.
Oh, I know you are.
We get one season every 2 years.
Yeah.
With 3 episodes in that season, and those 3 episodes are shown within 2 weeks total. Yeah, because we had season 3 January 1st, 7th, and 15th of this year, and we get season 4 in 2016.
Oh man, you guys are in for it.
Yeah, and we've been doing this. Sherlock Fandom has been doing this for 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, we know patience.
Yeah, well, I think it might be kind of hard to do that with something like Game of Thrones. Because of how big in pop culture it actually is.
Right.
Because, there was one YouTube video I found, it's Game of Thrones references in TV. And they were even, referencing it in, football games and all these TV shows.
Really?
Yeah, and like
You know when the jocks start referencing nerd shows, that means it's big.
Commentators or like the announcers, or whatever, in an NFL football game were referencing Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and probably the most recent one, because like Game of Thrones is probably has more shout outs and mentions in other TV shows and anything than just about any other TV show.
Right.
The most recent one I saw was I was watching the latest episode of Big Bang Theory. And one character kind of is like down, wondering if like his whole life's work is just pointless. And
Who was it? Who was saying it?
It was Sheldon.
Oh, wow.
Who was saying that, for those of you who know Big Bang Theory. And he's like, is my life's work just been pointless and can never be proven and everything? He's all down. Then one of his friends, Howard, just goes, yeah, but how great is Game of Thrones? Am I right?
Yeah, I think if Game of Thrones has first place for most referenced shows, second place would have to be Doctor Who. Because they were talking about that once in or multiple times in Big Bang. I remember I was watching an episode of I think it was either Bones or it was one of the detective shows my mom watches.
Yeah.
And like I was walking by the living room and it was this character and he was saying how, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is basically just a huge Doctor Who ripoff. And I was like, yes!
And you were just straight there, glued to the screen.
And then my mom was like, what is he talking about? I was like, don't worry about it. Shh. My mom is not a nerd in any sense. She thinks nerd is like an insult.
Yeah, neither is my mom, so.
Yeah.
And my mom thinks I'm kind of weird.
Oh yeah. What's cosplay? What's Comic-Con? What is this?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Sean? I'm like, it's like the Super Bowl for nerds, Mom.
Yeah.
That's what
Or
this
like
is.
for the people who cosplay and stuff.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm big into swords and stuff, and leather work, so I make sword belts and bits of armor and all this stuff. And my mom is just like, where would you ever wear this, or when would you have any use for it? I'm just like, I don't care. It's cool. I'll go to Comic-Con.
No, for those of you, if you guys have ever seen a big guy wearing bracers just randomly for no apparent reason, that's Mason.
Yep.
You're wearing them right now. Why do you wear your bracers every day?
It really just kind of started when I was like, in like the 6th grade, got a little leather bracelet or whatever. And
Yeah, I got a little leather bracelet on.
yeah, but even my first one was like 1.5 inches.
Oh, wow.
So
Mine's a centimeter. Wrapped twice
yeah,
around.
but so
my-
I just got into doing that, and now it just feels weird to have them off.
Huh. Yeah, that's
Plus,
pretty-
they just look cool,
Yeah.
especially for like a leather worker. It's good to wear your stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Show it off.
Yeah.
And you make some stuff for people too, right? Like if people want.
Yeah, I've done commission stuff. Currently, I actually just finished for one of my friends who's going to Comic-Con. I just finished up this steampunk back holster for a Nerf gun he's going to modify.
Nice. So like if I wanted to get some really simple, really light brace, because I'm a thin guy.
Yeah.
How much would bracers that would look good on me cost?
I'd probably say a going rate for something like yours for a pair of simple ones with just very basic design work on them or anything would probably be about like $30.
So 15 each.
Yeah. Which is definitely lower than anything you'll find on like Etsy or anything like that.
Yeah, because when you gave me this, that estimate a couple weeks ago in our costume construction class, I was like $30. That seems like a lot of money. And so I went online on all these different, leather working websites and Etsy and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're all like $50, $100, $200. I'm like, Mason.
Yeah. Well, like for really complex stuff, that'd probably be like, depending, it'd be like 45 to 60.
Okay.
Just depending on like all the hardware and complexity of the design and stuff.
Right.
But,
And before I didn't really have a need for it, but now because we have the costume construction class, which if you guys haven't taken it, there are actually 3 sewing classes here on campus. There's regular sewing that teaches you just how to sew. There's costume construction, which is based more around the theater.
Yeah.
And then there's cosplay class, which is like, that's costume construction with stage makeup, with prop design and stuff.
yeah. 2 of our friends, and I'm in the costume construction class too.
Yeah.
2 of our friends, a married couple, they're in the they're in the cosplay class and costume construction. And so they've just been making like Game of Thrones costumes.
Yeah.
Because they're big into it too.
Yeah, because she has made multiple Daenerys.
Yeah.
Outfits.
She made like the Dany's wedding dress and the dress when she's in Karth, that big city.
Yeah. She made both those. And then what he did for the costume construction, he just did generic. No, but what did he do? It was like that black jacket.
Yeah,
thing.
it was kind of like it was like a regular jacket with like a panel in the middle and stuff that would button up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then in his in the cosplay class, he went full on Luke Skywalker, where he made a lightsaber, and it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, then he also made like a Jon Snow cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah, all black with the fur sewn onto the shoulders.
Yeah. And he also makes chainmail.
Yep.
Which
that he does.
And like I think he was telling us like the chainmail started getting so heavy he had to ingrain it into a leather like doublet or something so that it could support its own weight.
Yeah, it can be something like that. It can also be like tailored to fit snugly, so the weight is also like taken on your hips and not just your shoulders and stuff.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have it like on a leather doublet.
Yeah, with some like leather strapping and stuff.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, armor, especially like what they were in like Game of Thrones and stuff. After we got so off topic.
Well, it's still, you know.
Oh yeah, leather work and all that stuff goes into Game of Thrones.
If you guys want us to talk about something that's more specifically Game of Thrones, we got another 20 minutes. You can either text KAGE with what do you want us to talk about to 66746, or you can tweet it #FandomLife. But until then, we're just gonna talk about, you know, stuff that Game of Thrones fans, you know, would still be interested in.
Yeah. Well, like the armor they wear in Game of Thrones, like all that plate armor and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Middle Ages. That stuff does not weigh 300 pounds. You don't have to be craned onto your horse, and if you fall on the ground, you're like a turtle. All bull.
Really?
Yeah, that armor's fitted to you, and it's not just all on like one part of your body.
Yeah.
It's spread out all over all of your body. So it really only weighs like 60 to 80 pounds.
Oh wow, I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it really isn't that bad.
Yeah, because I can remember, like, my freshman year when we were doing, like, I had a world history class, and my teacher was saying, you know, how, like, they would have to be helped onto their horse because it was such heavy armor, and I was like, jeez.
Yeah, well, I actually saw a show on History Channel. I've seen a few shows on armor from History Channel and stuff.
I could believe it.
Yeah, but it was like a series called, like, The Master. I think it's been canceled or whatever a while ago. But they talked to a master armorer. And he's done all this incredible work with armor and stuff, and he has said, if you were really young, really, really fit and stuff, you could vault onto the saddle wearing full plate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and how he even said you can do anything in armor that you can not wearing armor except swimming.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then there was another video I saw of a guy, Mike Lodes, huge military history, mainly medieval stuff. He's wearing full-on plate armor. And he's on his horse, and he gets it going, and then he just falls off the saddle. But he knows how to fall and everything, and the armor and everything. And people think, like, once you're on the ground and stuff, you're just stuck there, just,
Can't get up.
Yeah, but so he falls down and just pops right back up.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Interesting. And then you were saying swords. Do you have a sword?
Yeah, I've got a few actually, so.
Have you named your swords?
Not quite. Yeah, they make a little joke about that in the season 4 premiere of Game of Thrones with Arya and the Hound, because like Arya sees her sword Needle again.
Yeah.
With the guy, and she's like, that's Needle, my sword, and the Hound's just like, of course you named your sword.
And then in the Hobbit movie, Desolation of Smaug, when the Smaug, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But then the spider was like, it stings! Huh, Sting.
Yeah.
I like that name. And he just decides to call it Sting.
Yeah, or even like Thorin's sword, Orcrist, which translates to Goblin Cleaver.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what I would want to name my my sword if I had one. I think I'd have to like hold it and actually use it.
Yeah.
Like, cause that's one thing. Like when Joffrey got his new one, he was like, it's the Heart
Eater.
Right. And I was like, that thing has never even been tested, really. Like,
he didn't even freaking draw it in the Battle of Blackwater.
Right, yeah.
He basically just ran off like a little girl.
Yeah, how are you gonna name your sword before you even know, like, how it fights?
Yeah, or what it's done.
Yeah.
Like, once again in The Hobbit, Goblin Cleaver. Yeah. You know what that sword's done.
Right. Like, I think I would name it after whatever my first kill was. Like, with my sword, if I had a sword and I wanted to name it. But, like, I have nerd friends here, and I found the modern day version of naming your sword. It's naming your cell phone.
Yeah.
I have friends that have named their cell phones, and then.
Oh, I know, it's ridiculous. Like, I remember, like, I can't remember if it was here early in the like first semester and stuff.
Yeah.
But one of my friends like named, I think this was in high school. So, but one of my friends named her phone Phil. So whenever she got mad at her phone, she'd just go, Phil, and throw it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but so yeah, that's definitely the modern equation of naming your sword.
Yeah, and that instead of naming your horse, now it's your car.
Yeah.
Which that one I can understand.
Yeah,
you know?
my 16-year-old sister, she got her first car, and its name is like Terrence.
Terrence?
Yeah, she named her car Terrence.
Very nice. Yeah, people are always surprised when I tell them what my car's name, because it's not like a normal name. My car is the Sexy Beast.
Oh, gosh.
Oh yeah.
I called my car Chewbacca, because then that makes me Han Solo. Come on.
Yes.
I don't remember how that came about. I'm just like, come on, Chewie.
Yeah. Whenever I move, I give my new group of friends a game for my car. And I ask who is the greatest, shotgun or passenger seat holder of all time. And if you can name them, then you get automatic shotgun rights whenever you want it. And so the answer is Chewbacca, of course. And
so I guess I get shotgun whenever I'm with your car and you're not with your girlfriend.
Well, no, it was actually Mo. You know Mo.
Oh, yeah, Mo.
Yeah, Mo, because she went to high school with me.
Yeah.
And so she guessed it when there. And it sucks too, because I was with my friend. I was with a group of friends, and my friend got it, but he wouldn't say the name, because I was like, if you think you know it, whisper it to me so that you can get first place, someone else can get second. And then he didn't quite understand what I was saying, so he just whispered, the Wookiee. I was like, what's his name? Say the name, say the name. And then Mo heard that and was like, Chewbacca. And I was like, oh, Patrick, why didn't you say the name?
Oh, man.
So Patrick was kind of peeved at me.
Yeah.
Mo,
the Wookiee.
Yeah, so Mo gets Chewbacca rights in my car.
Nice.
And then whenever I take it next, I'm going to do that for my new group of friends, and then they get Chewbacca rights.
Yeah, but another thing with naming the swords, going back again. Mm-hmm. Like how I said, that ice, the Stark sword, gets melted down into 2 swords, one for Jaime, one for Joffrey.
Yeah.
Joffrey actually names his sword just right when he gets it, pretty much, I believe.
That's so dumb.
He names it Widow's Wail.
That doesn't even make sense.
It's like the sword causes widows to wail because he's killed their husbands with it, and
Even though he hasn't killed anyone.
oh gosh, that kid. Ugh.
How many swords does he have at this point?
Oh gosh, he's had at least 3, but if you remember, Arya threw the first one in the river, so now he's got at least 2.
Yeah.
One of them being a Valyrian steel, which he does not deserve by any means.
No, he doesn't. Oh, the kid's a brat.
Gosh, I don't even think he's really used a sword against anybody.
Yeah. Probably in practice. But
Maybe. Well, in the first bit of book 1, when the Lannisters with Robert goes to Winterfell and everything, and the guys are practicing with swords and stuff, and Joffrey just comes up, let's use sharp steel. Let's use sharp swords to Robb.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that kid is terrible.
He really needs to die in a terrible way.
Yeah.
Or make him die, bring him back, and then make him die another horrible way. Because one death is not good enough for that guy.
Go Roy Williams status on him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Cap Jack Harkness. If you guys don't know, I make a lot of references to a lot of other shows, because the reason I have this fandom life is because I am in virtually every fandom. You could ask me on almost every single fandom, and I could tell you at least who's my favorite character.
Yeah, you could tell just by the hat.
Yeah,
you quizzed me on at the beginning.
Yeah, right. But even my friends, they're like, Sean, you're not in every fandom. I'm like, check it. And they're like, who's your favorite pony? I'm like, Rainbow Dash. Oh yeah.
Oh, how did I know you were Brony?
Rainbow Dash. I don't watch a lot of that show, but I have watched a few episodes, and so I can tell you Rainbow Dash is my favorite. And then Pinkie Pie is really she's really awesome.
Yeah, okay, let's get on to something a little bit more manly. Firefly. Who else agrees they need to bring that show back for a second season at least?
For April Fools, I posted, or I shared it on Facebook. It said Netflix is going to produce the second season of Firefly. And then one of my friends got so mad. It was actually Diego Chavez who came on the show. He's the president of the gaming club. And he was like, if you ever tell such lies again, I will skin you like a reaver. And I was like, whoa, calm down. But yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah. The genre of fantasy itself, I think, is probably my favorite genre when it comes to entertainment, followed closely by sci-fi.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, because fantasy also has Harry Potter, it has Merlin, it has Lord of the Rings, obviously.
Yep. Harry Potter, worst one of those.
Oh, you don't like Harry Potter?
Harry needs help so many times.
He's a kid. He is a boy.
So was Rob at the beginning of Game of Thrones.
How old was he at the beginning? Come on. How old was he?
He was like, what, 16, 17, but in the books he's like 14.
Okay, Harry Potter started off at age 11.
Ugh.
He was 11 when he started. Of course he needs help.
Yeah, but ugh.
You don't. How could you? Oh, okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
Before we get into a fight about Harry Potter.
Before somebody comes in and shoots me.
Yeah, because I'm on the. It was on that Snow College Confessions page, and it was like, I'm sorry, but I just don't like Harry Potter or Doctor Who at all. And then I posted a one of those pictures, and it said, "That's your opinion. I get that, but you're wrong."
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I everything fandom, everything nerdy, I can't help but love it. I have yet to come across something nerdy that I don't like. I play Dungeons and Dragons. Have you ever played that, by the way?
Oh gosh, no, I haven't. But
You would like it.
Yeah, I really want to. I think it'd be awesome to play.
I have all of it 4.0 on my computer, and then some of the 3.5 books, which are the two. 3.5 is like the most popular version, and then 4.0 is the newest version. And there's a lot of debate over which one's better, so I just have them both.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I could like help you. Like, I could like give you a crash course into Dungeons and Dragons. I have a couple characters on it, and that's a lot of fun. Because that would I get to be a half elf or, you know, whatever, you know, an orc giant, you know.
That's, yeah, well, like with that, that's probably one reason why fantasy stuff is so popular.
Because Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, just like the ability to, in a fantasy game like that, or Skyrim.
Oh, Skyrim's good.
Which is like the video game version of Game of Thrones.
It kind of
just
is.
About.
Yeah, it's very, I can see that.
Yeah, similar to Game of Thrones.
Like
just
maybe
about.
like back way before, you know, dragons were still everywhere.
Yeah, back with like when the Targaryens were first coming in and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was even one video I saw where a guy was talking about Game of Thrones. I think it was again the Honesty trailer.
Oh, okay.
Possibly, but he was just like the event that plunged Skyrim into total chaos. Yeah.
I want to get a Skyrim mod where I can change like instead of the Stormcloaks, it could be the Starks or something like that.
Well, there's actually a Game of Thrones mod where you can get like shields with like the Stark Wolf or the Lannister Lion.
Nice.
You can even get some of the weapons like ice or Longclaw, needle, Arya's sword.
I'm going to have to get that then. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Because I have Skyrim on my Steam account.
Okay.
And I play that. And have you ever played Dragon Age?
Oh, sounds really familiar, but I don't think I have.
It's a very simple fantasy medieval style game. Basically, you get it's a really cool role playing game. But you start off as one of 6 different backgrounds that you choose, and then you go from there. And then you have to fight the Darkspawn, which are these like kind of demonic creatures, whatever.
Yeah. So it's almost kind of like Skyrim, but it's more quest. You get the quest straight from the beginning instead of having to go around.
Right.
Find all these different quests.
There's not a whole lot of side quests. There's like maybe 2. Maybe. Yeah. Like it's primarily because basically what you do is you're gathering multiple armies. Like you have to gather the Dwarven army, the Elvish army, the Mage's army. And
don't be looking for any of that in Game of Thrones.
No, there's none of that stuff. But and you have to get all these together to fight together against the Darkspawn. And it's really cool because I have a friend. If any of you guys went to Anime Bonsai last year, my friend from high school, he was the tall ginger that had Alistair, a full suit of armor from Alistair as a Templar, and that was really cool. Like I talked to people here who went there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw that guy," because it was a full suit of armor. He had a huge like shield. I mean, it was like it wasn't actually made of metal, but because like it was so intricate, and he got it for like $200 or whatever.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
So it was
that's actually would probably be a pretty good price.
Yeah, but yeah, it was but it was really cool how he did it all, and a lot of people recognize him from that. But yeah, is there anything else you want to add to fantasy / Game of Thrones?
Yeah, well, like what I was going on about, just like the appeal of fantasy, I think, is like with those role playing games and stuff, is you get to create your own character.
Right.
and become who you want, the hero you were always destined to be, but the world just won't let you. You get to be that character. But then also with like Lord of the Rings, how it's like they're going off to save all of Middle Earth. It kind of launches you into this whole different world where your problems don't exist. And,
It's an epic quest.
yeah, and you're focusing on something bigger than yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's just something that really makes fantasy extremely popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and like with Game of Thrones and stuff, how it's fantasy, but it's not a wizard coming in and flinging magic and healing people like crazy.
Yeah.
It's like magic is just a very, 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 very slight presence in it.
Yeah, something that you can't directly control, really.
Yeah, well, like there's some people like Tywin, Jaime, and those guys down south, how they just don't even believe that it existed or ever existed.
Yeah, and then there's like, the only like fictional characters really are the dragons, the White Walkers, but it's very far.
Well, and also up north, beyond the wall, there are giants. And
Yeah. But yeah, I think that just about wraps it up for this episode. Do you have any social media you want people to find you on?
Well, just like if you want anything leatherworking, you can probably just find me on my Facebook. Maybe contact me there, and yeah. But other than that,
So what's spell out your full name so they can find you on Facebook?
Mason Wynder, MasonWynder.
W-Y.
Yeah, people always think it's Winder. It's not. It's Wynder.
Calm down. It's okay.
And it just happens so much, Sean. So much.
But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Sean_Tasker. I have a Facebook page, Sean Tasker. I have YouTube channel. Guess what? Sean Tasker. I'm on virtually every social media that you can find, guys. And if my name on all of them isn't Sean Tasker, I'm changing them all so that it's a solid thing for everybody. But yeah, that does it for this episode of Fandom Life. Thank you so much, Mason, for coming on.
No problem. Happy to be here.
And so to end out the show, I'm going to play King of the Castle by Matt Jenkins. Once again, you guys listen to 88.9 The Cage. Enjoy.
Every Sunday after we go to church, I strip down to my boxers and my favorite t-shirt. She's out to the mall with all of her friends, and for a while there